I personally feel one of the most poisonous, most negative emotions of all is regret. You know, even if you take a deep breath in right now and you think about what are all the regrets you might have with your own life, I'm sure it'll be a long list and it'll be a disturbing list. Well, Australian writer, speaker, and musician Bronnie Ware wrote a best-selling book called The 5 Regrets of Dying People. And in that particular book, because she spent over 8 years in palliative care looking after dying people, and she maintained a journal, a diary during that period of time, and asking this question to these folks. Today, as you look back into your life, what are your top regrets about life? And she started taking down answers from that interaction. About 1 year into this process, she saw a pattern emerge. She saw that all these answers could be categorized, that there were a lot of similarities between them. And from this very research, from this very process of taking notes and asking questions and spending time with those people, her best-selling book took birth, which was The 5 Regrets of Dying People. And I would like to share those with you today because I believe perhaps the secret of the art of living lies in the secret of art of dying. Famous Italian Renaissance leader, painter, artist, Leonardo da Vinci, he said, as a day well spent brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. The whole idea is to spend your life in a way, to design your life in a way that when your work here is done, you are empty, you've given away everything you could have. You're not looking back with a sense of regret. I wish I could have, I should have. Why didn't I try? At least I should have tried. Why did I give up? And things like that. Those are very disturbing questions, right? So I would like to share with you these 5 regrets of dying people so that today you can reflect on this. And I've been quoting Bronnie Ware's work with international audiences around the world, and it's resonated with people. The only reason why, because today as you listen to these 5 regrets, if you can resonate, if some of these resonate with you, if you can connect with some of them, then it's probably time to pause and reflect and redesign your life. Because after all, you design your wardrobe, don't you? You pay a lot of attention to designing your house, don't you? The landscaping, everything. You look after your fitness, you look after your retirement. Why not? And human beings, we are the only species who have this gift that we are able to make changes in our life. We're not animals, we're not trees. If we don't like something, we're in a position to change it. And that's the whole idea here. As you reflect, see if some of these things are connecting with you. If you see the picture, the story of your life in these 5 regrets, maybe it's time to change things. The topmost regret, the number 1 regret of dying people, as listed in Bronnie Ware's book called The 5 Regrets of Dying Folks, is I wish I had the courage to lead a life true to myself. And oftentimes we are so busy living up to the expectations of other people that we forget who we are, who our potential is, what are we capable of doing? Do we get a chance? Do we give it a chance to blossom? Or are we just too busy running the race that everybody else is? Do we even spend time to figure out, am I running in the right race or not? Right? What if I win and then realize it was the wrong race I was running in, right? Similarly, imagine, some people are very good at climbing at the ladder of success, and I'm sure you are too, right? And we've been equipped with all these things, all these resources, all the information to speed up our journey up the ladder. Imagine, if you will, that you're climbing the ladder of success and then climbing it fast. But what if, when you get to the rooftop, you realize, hey, it's the wrong roof. It's going to be too late to change then. Well, these folks who Bronnie Ware interviewed did not have a chance to rectify things. But you and I do. We're still alive. We still have chances. We still can make amends. The number one regret was, I wish I had the courage to lead a life true to myself. And I'd like to ask the viewers here of this video, are you living a life true to yourself, or are you just busy living up to the expectations of other people? I'm reminded of a famous novel by Leo Tolstoy called The Death of Ivan Ilyich. Ivan Ilyich was a magistrate. He was leading an ordinary life, and doing success, doing financially well, having everything, and but he wasn't happy. He was not happy with his work. He was not happy with his family. He was not happy with any aspect of his life. And one day, while hanging up the curtains, he falls down, injures himself, and the doctor comes and sees him and says, it's terminal, you are going to die. Now, during the process while he's on bed, his anger towards life increases manifold. He's now even more angrier at his wife, at his family, at his doctor, at himself. You know why? Because one of these sleepless nights, this question started eating him from within. And the question was, what if my whole life was wrong? What if my whole life was wrong? And ladies and gentlemen watching this video, that can be a very painful question. What if the way I've lived my whole life was wrong? Another very important way of designing a life where you're living an authentic life true to yourself is what I've been sharing with audiences across the world. Is not about getting more stuff. It's perhaps about letting go of a lot of things which might not be working well for you. I'm reminded of a historical anecdote where the mayor of Sicily found someone brought a huge block of granite to him, and he thought there is only one artist in all of Italy who could create a beautiful statue out of it, and he thought of Michelangelo. Michelangelo was commissioned for this job, and he asked for 2 years. He shut himself in a room, and for 2 full years he worked on this block of granite. And after 2 years, he presented the world what is known as the masterpiece of the Renaissance, the Statue of David. In his biography, Michelangelo reflects and writes, he says, when I first saw that block of granite, I could already see my angel inside it. For the next 2 years, all I had to do was to chip away, and remove everything that was not required. And I got what I needed. And I think the same applies to our life as well. It's not about adding more stuff. It's not about having more, not about doing more. Perhaps it's also about letting go of a lot of things, relationships, circumstances, thought processes, which might be hindering you back. What are yours? I think it's an important question to reflect on to help you design the life where you're living a life true to yourself, an authentic life. Now, the second regret, as listed in Bronnie Ware's best-selling book, The 5 Regrets of Dying People, will go against everything that you've learned so far about success and achievement. Here's number 2. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Now, it's important that we put it in the right context, right, in order to truly understand it. The way I look at it is, I would say I'm working hard if I'm not being able to give. If I'm going upstream, if I'm struggling against the flow of things, if I'm not finding my creative voice, if I'm not doing the kind of work which gives an expression to my higher self, that's when I'll use the term, I'm working hard and life is difficult. Because it's been about a decade now after I've switched my career track and I picked a line of work that truly satisfies me. And as I reflect back on it, it doesn't seem like work anymore. People have often asked me, so is it a day off today or are you working today? And I tell you, the boundaries have merged. It's very hard to distinguish when is work and when is free leisure time. And as this beautiful quote, I think, puts it best, it says, if you pick a line of work if you pick work that you love doing, you won't have to work a single day for the rest of your life because it's merging in. You're enjoying what you do. However, having said this, what I feel that these people who had this regret are truly trying to say is this: they were not able to balance work and the rest of their lives. They were not able to enjoy the little things around them, the sunrises, the sunsets, the smiles of their kids, or the little things as they were growing up. I'm reminded of a famous author who said, in the hope of reaching the stars, men often fail to appreciate the flowers that blossom at their feet. In the hope of reaching the stars, we fail to appreciate the flowers that blossom around us. Take time today, out of your busy schedules, look away from your smartphones, right? Shut it down for a while and take time to enjoy the little things that life has given you, because that is where the beauty of being alive lies in, right? I know work has its place, working hard has its place too in achieving what we want to achieve, but make sure that you're not paying too heavy a price. That you regret later on. Make sure the price that you pay is worthwhile and that you are getting enough time, enough opportunities to rejuvenate yourself, to refuel yourself, right? Otherwise you will end up burning up too soon, and that's not the kind of ideal scenario you want to be in. The third regret, as expressed in Bronnie Ware's book, is I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. Now, this is the second theme when the term courage comes up. So I do believe these 5 regrets have a lot revolving around letting go of your fears, right? But the third one's quite interesting. I wish I had the courage to express my feelings. And from my opinion, as a motivational speaker and a life coach over the last decade, I believe the most underexpressed emotion of all is appreciation. We take things for granted. Okay, I know that person in my work team knows that I appreciate his work, but we fail to put it into words. And guess what? People around you are not mind readers. And after this opportunity is gone, you're going to regret it. I wish I could have appreciated that person, and you have no idea what it means for the other person, right? Apologies, another area where we fall short of. Did you do something that, or say something that you regret now to another person? Okay, now's the time. Have the courage to walk up to them and say, hey, I was being a jerk the other day and I so regret having said what I said. And, say it, express it, don't bottle it up. When I talk about appreciation, I'm reminded of this model that I've been sharing in my workshops called the HAPS model. HAPS, H-A-P-P-S. Appreciate, and I would like to change the spelling of the word now. So accountants talk about depreciation, and I want to change it from appreciation to appreciation. When you appreciate someone, you appreciate who they are. You increase their self-worth. You increase their self-esteem. The HAPS model is a very interesting model to follow, making it a way of life, making appreciation a way of life. H is for habitually. Acknowledge people, thank people habitually. A is authentically, right? Don't fake it. Do it from your heart. Say what you really mean. P is promptly. Don't wait too long. The next P is proportionately, right? And the final, the S is specifically. Be specific about, because that's how people really, that's how positive behavior is reinforced. Because we are very quick, actually, as our default behavior, to pick out mistakes in other people, to pick out what's going wrong around us. It takes conscious effort to spot what is going right and to appreciate it. Make it a way of life, and you will be a lifter, because I believe people can be broadly divided into 2 categories, lifters and leaners. If you're in the habit of expressing positive emotions, of acknowledging good stuff that is happening around you, you're a lifter. And so this is the regret number 3. I wish I had the courage to express what I feel at all times. Really, really powerful. It's letting go of that fear of embarrassment or that uncertainty, how the other person might react, but express it positively. Even if it's something negative, even if it's something that you have not appreciated, that you do not like, try to express it in a constructive way and go and say it to the other person, right? It's no point holding it up, because I don't know, it applies to all relationships. It applies to your family members, it applies to your, whether it's kids or parents, applies to your colleagues, because you never know who's not going to be around, whether they're going to move to a different place or what's going to happen tomorrow. Say it. Don't miss the opportunity. So the 4th regret, as listed in the book, is I wish I would have stayed in touch with my friends more often. And I believe this happens to all of us. And we're living in a digital age, in the era of Facebook likes and looking at what other people are doing. But what we're missing increasingly is the face-to-face human connection, right? Where we can exchange ideas, where we can reflect back on our lives. And I feel it's really important as you move forward in life and as you achieve the so-called success, is that you find time to develop a network where you're able to sit together and reflect back on how far you've come, how far others have come, what are the things that you're doing right, and what is there to learn from others. Because and it would really help if your network is diverse. Cultivate a diverse network of friends, and because it is going to get lonely at the top as you climb this ladder. So you need people to give you honest feedback, because you might end up being surrounded with people who are only giving you what you would like to hear. You don't want that happening. You want people who can be honest and straightforward and give you what you really need in order to make the changes in your life. Another very important factor here is that the diversity of ideas. So I am a very big believer. I'm a big believer that your personality is shaped by the time that you spend with the 5 or 6 people who are the closest to you. So be very careful who you're spending your time with, and reach out and connect to, if you feel there are folks who have achieved a lot, who have built things from scratch, who are doing things that you would like to do, spend more quality time with your friends and family members. Look up from that gadget which is keeping you busy, because someday, guess what, they might not be around anymore. Spend time with your friends and family. And I'm sure that you'll be able to relate to the 5th regret that is listed in this book, which is, I wish I would have let myself be happier. The key word here being let. I believe we all have the ability to experience bliss. Actually, it's hard to come across depressed babies or infants, right? Where we're born in a blissful state, right? And it's as we go along and this journey of life, and we collect stuff, and we have these expectations and disappointments on this journey, that we start feeling that we start putting up the barricades on our own happiness. So listen to this carefully. I wish I would have let myself be happier, which implies that you already have the ability to experience happiness, but we just need to remove the barriers that are there. Happiness is not something that you consciously chase. I believe it's a byproduct. I'm reminded of an interesting story by my favorite author, Dr. Wayne Dyer. He says a little cat came back from a happiness workshop, and it was moving around in circles trying to bite its own tail. So Grandpa Cat was observing this behavior, and out of curiosity, Grandpa Cat asked the little cat, what have you been doing? So the little cat replied, see, I went to the happiness workshop, and in the happiness workshop, they taught me that happiness lies in my tail. Therefore, I'm running around in circles trying to grab happiness. Grandpa Cat had more experience, more wisdom, and he said, okay, well, they did tell you the right thing. They did tell you that happiness lies in your tail, but you got the process wrong. You don't have to go around in circles trying to grab your own tail. You just do what you have to do. Go about doing the things that you must do, experiencing life and doing the things that you ought to. And happiness will follow you everywhere you go. And I believe that's a very powerful story with a very simple message. Happiness is not a destination that you seek. Happiness is a byproduct of the way you live your life. And I also believe that happiness is usually found in the little things. Now, psychologists have found out there is a threshold, the amount of happiness that money and material success can add to your life. 2 or 3 things I'd like to share with you about giving permission to yourself, about experiencing happiness. Number 1 being, take time every day to appreciate what you already have, right? So often we're caught up in achieving this and the next journey and doing that we fail to appreciate that the universe has already given us so much. What we have today was probably something that we deeply desired a year ago or some time ago. And now that we have it, we take it for granted, and it's no longer adding to the kitty of our happiness. I think that's the wrong way. Take time every day while you're traveling or wherever there's time alone with yourself, to reflect on what are the gifts that I now have that I really craved for a few years ago. And I now have them with me, because build your own positive narrative, your own positive story of life, right? So that you're able to convince yourself that good things are supposed to happen to me. I believe negative folks also have a story to tell. They got a victim story, right? I hate my life because of this. And happy and positive folks also have a story to tell. They say, I love my life. I'm so thankful, so happy because of this. It's important that you look for the right reasons to support your point of view. The second thing I want to share with you to add more bliss and happiness to your life is this. I was doing a lot of reading from Osho, and I picked this from there. He's inspired this thought. He says, become conscious, become aware of the negative thoughts that emerge in your mind. Don't try to fight them. That you might be fighting a losing battle if you do that. But become conscious of negative thoughts as and when they enter your mind, right? So just by becoming aware of you being caught up in negative thoughts will help you to overcome that, will help you to let go of that, will help you say, hey, okay, there I am going down this road once again, there I am getting caught in this web once again. Just that awareness, just that consciousness will give you the strength to move away from that. So appreciate the small things that you have in life, see bliss is there all around you, and build the right story. right? If your story is, I'm thankful for this opportunity to be alive, you got to support it with evidence of good things that have already happened in your life. It's been over 5 years that I've been quoting Bronnie Ware's research on the 5 regrets of dying people. And although she's divided into 5 different categories with 5 different statements, when I really think about it and I try to put my own experiences to it and to correlate it with the lives of other people and my own life, I feel it's all about letting go of fear. It's all about letting go of fears and insecurities, and she's phrased it in different statements. But what I like to ask you is this: how would you live your life if you were no longer afraid? What are the things you would do if you were no longer afraid? Because there are a lot of fears that hold us back. Fear of embarrassment, fear of failure for some, fear of success for others, fear of the unknown, whatever it is. And these fears, to a large degree, dictate the kind of decisions that we make. And whenever decisions are being dictated by fears, those are not some of, the decisions that we make are not some of the most powerful ones. They are the more mediocre ones, because we're trying to stay within the boundaries. Can we be ever truly free of these regrets that Bronnie Ware has listed in her book? I don't know. Is it worth trying? I feel it is. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that these 5 regrets and the thoughts that I've shared with you have given you some food for thought, some triggers for self-reflection. And I'll be very happy to hear from you. Please do leave your comments in the comment section beneath this video. Or if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email on info@simerjeetsingh.com or visit my interactive website www.simerjeetsingh.com. Thank you once again for watching.